In this video I'll be building a coffee table with a hidden drawer for my mum and dad. First I did a quick drawing on SketchUp to figure out a design and plan out the dimensions of the table, and plans and a detailed cut list for this project will be available for free to my Patreon patrons or for a small fee via my Etsy store. Links to both are down below in the description box. I'll be using beech for this project because I have plenty of it, it's light in colour, and as it's a hardwood it'll be really durable, and I'm going to start making the frame of the table first. I started by making some cuts with the circular saw just to get these pieces down to the approximate length needed to make the pieces easier to handle in the workshop. And then at the table saw I could start ripping the pieces to size, and because this wood is so dense I did this in multiple cuts, raising the blade in between to take it easier on the saw. Here I'm truing up the edges, and then over at the thicknesser I can get all of the pieces to the same thickness. At this point I've got what will be all of the apron rails on the left hand side and all of the upright leg pieces laid out on the right. At the miter saw I set up a stop block so that I could start cutting all of the pieces to length. Here I'm laying out the pieces of the frame and figuring out which faces of each piece I like the best to be on display, and I can hide any imperfections in the wood on the inside of the table frame. I used my combination square to set the position of the bottom apron rails, and then I can mark up for the joinery where I'll be using my domino mortiser, which is going to speed things up and also help align all of the pieces nice and flush. I add wood glue and some 8mm dominoes. And then I can assemble the frame with a couple of parallel clamps to pull the joints together nice and tight. Once everything is positioned, I wipe away any excess glue with a damp cloth, and then I can check that the rails are square to the legs using my speed square. These smaller panels look a little different because they have these really thin leg pieces, but they are assembled in almost exactly the same way. The only difference is that because the legs are so thin, I needed to trim the ends of the dominoes by about 10mm at the bandsaw. And then I can set the dominoes plunge depth to make sure that it doesn't go all of the way through these thin legs. Once the glue was dry on all four pieces, I could remove the clamps, and this is how they'll go together. Before assembling though, I could get most of the sanding done using a 120 grit disc. I had some thin pieces of birch plywood that I could use to make 3 panels that will sit inside the frames. As you can see, the beech wood isn't a perfect match for the birch ply, which is much lighter in colour, but I can sort that out later when I apply finishes. I use a rebate bit in the router to create a rebate for the plywood to sit in. I'm cutting this rebate in what will be the inside of the table, and I'm removing a little bit at a time, lowering the router bit with each pass until the rebate is the correct depth. And then I carefully measure the sizes needed before making the cuts. I found a large washer which was a close match for the corners cut by the rebate bit in the router, and I can use that to mark up a round over onto the corners of the plywood, and then I round them over at the disc sander. I give them a quick sanding, and then I can glue them into the rebates using a couple of weights until the glue dried. I've made a bit of a mistake. I forgot to sand these internal edges of the frames before gluing the panel in. It would have been much easier to sand it while I had good access, but I can't do that now. So I've made a couple of sanding blocks. This is just some 100 grit sandpaper glued onto a block of wood with some spray adhesive, and then I cut around it with a knife to give me these nice crisp edges, and I can use that to sand the inside edges of the frame. Here I'm assembling the frame, and I could have used dominoes here again to help align everything, but I decided it wasn't really necessary. I just aligned everything manually and used my plywood clamping squares to keep the frame square, and a mixture of parallel clamps and F-clamps to pull it all together. At this point I started thinking about how I would mount the drawer, and I needed a couple of blocks to mount the runners to. So I'm taking some measurements, and here it looked like I needed them to be about 24mm thick, and more by luck than judgment I had some 24mm offcuts of birch plywood that I could use, which looked like they would be perfect. I could just cut them to size, and then I clamped them in place temporarily so that I could take some measurements for the drawer. I like to do a quick sketch just to help me get my head around dimensions for the drawer. So these are the blocks I just cut. The distance between them is 621mm. These are the drawer runners which I'd ordered online. They hadn't arrived yet, but apparently they needed 13mm of space to operate properly. So 621 minus 13 is 595, and that's the length I need the drawer to be. I pulled these triangular scraps of what measured as 13mm thick birch plywood out of a skip a few months ago. I can use these to make the sides of the drawers, so I ripped them down at the table saw. I mark up that 595mm length and cut 2 pieces to length for the front and back of the drawer. The length of the drawer runners that I'd ordered was 350mm, and if I deduct the thickness of the plywood twice, that gives me the length of the sides of the drawer. And after cutting them, I could sand all the faces and assemble the drawer, again using my clamping squares. When the glue had dried, I drilled pilot holes and reinforced the corners with screws. And I prefer to make my drawers with a solid panel glued and screwed to the bottom. It's not very traditional. I know others like to use rebates or grooves, but I know that this will be nice and strong. The next day the drawer runners arrived. These are from Amazon, and I'll leave a link to them in the description box below. They have a push-pull mechanism in them. I checked that they measured 13mm in thickness, and they did, so then I could get my blocks screwed in place. I didn't add any glue here just in case I needed to remove them and adjust the thickness of them later on. But as it happens, I totally forgot that I hadn't used glue here, but more on that shortly. I can then secure the drawer runners to those mounting blocks. When I offered up the drawer, it seemed like it would fit, but when I pushed it in, it seemed a little bit too tight. So what I should have done is removed the mounting blocks, which were just screwed in place, and planed a little off them, but for some reason I thought that they were glued. So as I didn't think that was an option, instead I marked up where to remove some material from the side of the drawer. I set up the table saw to remove a tiny amount, probably about 0.5mm or so, and this isn't a particularly safe cut to make, to be honest, but I made sure that the drawer was pressed firmly against the fence as I slowly fed it through the blade. The important thing here is to not let it twist while cutting. That went fine, although it didn't look particularly nice, but most of this will be hidden by the runners anyway, and then it was a really nice fit. To fit the drawer to the runners, I put the table on its side and then used a couple of scraps of wood underneath the bottom runner to prop it up, and then I could position the drawer where I wanted it and add the screws. Then I could flip it over to the other side, and that method worked great. For the drawer front, I needed another piece of birch plywood, and when I bought 3 sheets of it a few months back for our kitchen, the delivery guy asked me if I wanted this cover sheet for free. This would have been the top sheet on a pallet of the plywood, I guess, and there was a bit of damage to it, but of course I said yes. This is a huge 3 metre by 1.5 metre sheet. The cost of buying a big sheet like this is probably about £80 or £90 from my local timber merchant, so I was well chuffed to get this for free. But I just need a little bit here, so I used the circular saw, and then I could cut it to final dimensions on the table saw. That was a really nice fit. I wanted to leave about 2mm gap all of the way around, and here I used a couple of shims to position it in place, and then I could drill pilot holes and secure it with screws from the inside. As this was quite a big project, I'm going to split this into 2 project videos. The next one will follow, and as soon as it's ready you'll find a link in the description box below this video. In part 2 I'll be making a top for the table, choosing a stain and finish in an attempt to match some other furniture, and making some tabletop mounts to allow for expansion and contraction of the wooden top. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can via Patreon or PayPal, links to those below in the description box. And on Patreon you can get early access to my videos, exclusive content, free project plans and cut lists, and a name credit at the end of my videos. Thank you for watching.